Hello everybody and welcome back to Jeb Lost His Keys, the series where we scour the moons of Jewel to find the lost keys of our beloved Jebediah Kerbin. Just a quick recap, we already visited all of Jewel's moons, but so far we didn't find any keys. We also were low on fuel, so there was a big reveal that in POL there was already something waiting in orbit to remedy that. And let's have a look at how that happened. Okay, you can see here me launching the supply craft that will go into Jewel's orbit. Since I had to send this in advance, I did not get a chance to have such a nice launch window as I did with the Naginata. And also I did not have any nice stage separations. Some of you pointed out in the previous video that of course I could have done a nice gravity assist by Tylo and then go to Kerbin with a lot less delta V than I would need directly. But yeah, I just wanted to show you something in this video. This is all part of the plan, even though the delta V I spent to get to Jewel is immensely too high. If you do a good transfer, you need about, well, maybe 2000 meters per second or something like that. So almost 6000 is mental. Okay, we already deployed our fairing and you can now see the payload. It's a small supply craft with docking ports, a refinery, some communication equipment and of course drills. And yes, you can see here we already got our encounter with Jewel and then it was time to get there. And now it's time to get back to the story. Yes, the Naginata is now in orbit around POL. We got all our signs we wanted to get and now we're going to rendezvous with that little supply thing already in orbit of POL. In order to do that we have to of course do the usual maneuvers, matching the velocity with the target. There we go. This is looking promising. Yeah, let's get this down to almost zero. And well, there's a little bit of a drawback. I have to leave my Yajiri landing craft /SSTO /spaceplane in orbit while we perform the things we have to perform with that supply thing. Okay, there we go. We have to first dock this to the Naginata. I have actually never done this before, so I really hope that this will fit. Okay, let's align this. And perfect. Okay, are all docking ports engaged? Oh well, should be enough. Okay, let's get rid of those nuclear engines. Let's pollute POL. While we do that, or while POL is polluted, let's get down there and spray some more nuclear exhaust on the surface of a foreign body. Yeah. Okay, you have maybe already guessed that my plan is landing this, well, not so tiny vehicle on that very tiny moon. And since I don't have any landing gear attached to it, I just hope that the nuclear engines are, well, sturdy enough to handle all that weight. But since POL almost has no gravity at all, well, aside from Gilly, that's even worse, but you can see here we have landed fine. Just some minor adjustments with our RCS system, and then it's time to start digging into that soil of POL and extracting some mighty fine ore. Refinery is working fine. And you can see on the left hand side we have some other appointments set in the future. Our return trajectory is set in the future, of course. or return window, I meant to say. But it's going to be a few days back until then, so we're doing fine so far. Okay, once we have refueled, we get back up into orbit. And once we are there, we're going to leave that refinery and get back the Yajiri. Or at least that's the plan. Let's hope the plan works out. Okay, POL is, well, in a way like Minmus, really easy to land and get back up from. So we can manage fine with our Naginata. And here we are already at a rendezvous with the nice little Yajiri space science plane, which by the way also has its own probe core, so I could have also steered the Yajiri towards the Naginata, but yeah. Okay, let's leave this thing here for maybe some future missions, I don't know. And let's get our plane back. Let's get in there, come on. Attach to that cruiser. There we go. Yes! Well, Jebediah Kerbin thought once the Naginata was on the surface that he saw something in the distance. A tiny little glint in his eye. Something shiny maybe, something metal. And of course, since Jebediah Kerbin has a vested interest in looking for his keys, he decided to ditch the spacecraft and get onto the surface all by himself. Mostly because the rest of the crew said, "Jeb, you're crazy, we're not going to spend some more fuel on your fool's errand to find your keys that you lost a few decades in the past." But Jeb is adamant. So he's deploying his RCS pack, his EVA pack of course, and is landing on POL. But where is it? Where was that shiny little thing that he was looking for? Oh well, it can't be far. So let's have a look around the corner of this strange little dome-shaped, well, spike-shaped thing. And look at that! So that's why they couldn't find it. It was still moving after all those years. Well, that's that low gravity for you. And some weird inertia. Look at that! Finally, Jeb can get into his home, into his giant mansion with the giant key. Okay, after folding up that key with a secret Kerbal technology into his back pocket, Jeb is now on his way back into orbit. And yeah, we're just using the EVA pack, and Kerbal Engineer helps us with looking at what our apoapse and periapse is. And of course we can now do maneuver nodes with EV8 Kerbals, which was not possible in previous versions of Kerbal's space program. Okay, so it's time to fire some more. And then, well, we get back to the ship. And once we're back inside, it's time to plan our journey back to Kerbin because, well, the mission is now a complete success. Well, it will be a complete success if we manage to get back to Kerbin. But since we have filled our tanks to the brim with delicious liquid fuel, it is now, well, quite easy to get back to Kerbin. Okay, one final look at the Joule, and after a few correction burns, we get our encounter with Kerbin. It's still a bit wonky, so we're going to have to do some adjustments in the future while we're on our way back. That's what you can see me planning here. And now Jeb lost his keys and Purple Pain. From now on, both series are synced. So I hope you enjoyed this. If you did, please consider subscribing if you don't already have, and liking and sharing this video. So thanks for watching. goodbye.